Here's a Gottlieb drop-a-card that is currently on a shelf in my basement. I started out working on this to restore the cabinet, hoping for a quick fix cabinet paint fix. Didn't turn out to be a quick fix, so that's going to require a lot more time than I have right now to fix it, but I thought I'd include this video from earlier this year, late summer, fall, when I was working on it. It might be of some use, and then I'll do a part 2 when I actually take this thing all apart and strip it bare and do templates with Mylar and repaint it. But that'll probably be way low on my priority list, so I thought I'd put part 1 out there for now. All right, I've got some work to do here. Got a pinball machine I picked up. It's back in the 70s, the guy's brother painted it. He wanted it to look cool, so he painted a nice black, flat black over the original cabinet. So I'm going to experiment with trying to get this black paint off without eating into the original paint, and we'll see how that goes. Then over here, as you can see, I had a little accident as I brought it home. I use a van to transport these things, and I had it in the van, and I pulled that out. The coin door was towards the back of the van, so as I was taking it out, I had it in kind of backwards. The carpet pulled on the bottom of this and pulled the back out. So I think I'll, it looks worse than it is. I think I can just use wood glue, and I dry fitted it. It pops right back into place. So I'll reglue it, get it back in, and then I'm going to experiment with trying to remove this black paint, trying to avoid having to strip everything and paint from scratch. All right, my first experiment did not go so well. I tried the top of the head because I figured that way if I screwed up, it'd be least visible. And I tried some goof off. I'd read some sites where people had had luck taking off a layer of paint and leaving the original. At first I thought it was going to work, but as you can see, hopefully you can see in the video, it actually took the white paint underneath off as well. So mixed results there. Could be bad technique on my part, first time trying it. So I'm going to try using denatured alcohol and just kind of soak it in on the side of the cabinet and see what happens. And then if that works, I'll come back and try to clean this up. All right, I'm going to try to demonstrate as I'm doing this just to show it on the video. Unfortunately, there's a new roof going on a house next door, so you're going to hear some interesting sound. I just kind of want to show how this works. I just take a sponge and wet the black paint, and I thought I was going to have to scrape it off, but it really, once you soften it with this denatured alcohol, it just starts to come off. And then over here I use paper towels once I get it softened up. But the idea here is you just keep it wet, and especially on the thicker parts, and then you can just kind of scrub it away. And I don't know if you can see the video or not, but there's the yellow starting to come through, the yellow triangle. So it's like a red shape here and a red one over here is the yellow. And so I'm just going to work my way down the cabinet, kind of like over here. I'll probably hit everything with the sponge and then use paper towel to clean it up. Hopefully it's going to work. All right, so let's recap what we got so far. On the far left was the black stuff, black paint that was on this thing. That's coming off really pretty easily with denatured alcohol, and I tried a sponge, but I found out that the blue shop rag, paper towels like this, work really well. Prevented it from smearing too much. But that showed, after getting the black off, that there's another layer of, I don't know what kind of paint it is. I need to learn more about paints, you know, latex, enamel, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, the artist who decided that this cabinet needed work had covered it with white, yellow, and red. And so then I was able to take this off, same thing, denatured alcohol, and a scraper, if I have one, just a cheap plastic scraper like this from Home Depot, and just real gently working it in, keeping it wet with the alcohol. The other lovely part is I can see why he painted it over. Somehow there had been damage on several spots. So I'm going to have to decide, do I leave it rough? And a lot of this white is actually paint, because the guy covered the orange with this paint, and then painted it red. So I'm going to keep working on this. I think I can get a lot of this off, but there are a couple spots here that's down to the wood that I'm guessing that's why he decided to paint it. And the other lovely thing I've got is somebody decided to paint the legs, and it looks like they spray painted the legs while they were on the machine. So I've got this stuff, and I've got some 600 grit and some 400 grit sandpaper. I might see if I can just kind of get that off. I'll keep at it. The other thing is the pedestal up here was brush painted, so I'll take that off, try to paint it, or get that paint off. And I think I'm going to order new legs. I was going to try to restore these, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they're savable. So making some progress here, but I can see why they repainted it. You can see there's some bare wood like right in here. And then hopefully you can see how the orange is down below where they overpainted the red. I'm having a hard time getting that red off. So I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try some sandpaper. I'll wet it down with the alcohol and then just see if I can sand it off to loosen it, maybe soften it up so I can get to it. What I really want to do, it looks like I'll have my first cabinet refurb here. I want to get that orange pattern so I can trace it out so I can make a stencil on it. And worst case, if I can't get it on this side, I can strip down the other side to get it.